Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. We would go together with Estelle Hirschberg and myself over the chat support tool that has been deployed and will continue to be deployed towards additional products and additional regions in the near future. For a short introduction, Esther and myself are a part of the global support group, and we are part of the project management office. The project management office is managing internal projects that focus on practices, elevation of the performance of the support group, and of course utilize a lot of information system projects in order to achieve those capabilities that we would like to bring to you. On a personal note, I'm the director of the support PMO group. I joined Exlibris about a year ago, and one fun fact about me is that I like mountain biking. That's my hobby. And 2 years ago, I crossed Israel, which is around 700 kilometers on a mountain bike in 4 days. It was an experience and a challenge, something to remember and tell to my grandkids. Esther?
Yeah, okay, so my name is Esther Hirschberg. I am the support PMO together with Matan. I joined Exlibris in 2015, and a fun fact about me is that I drive a 1975 Volkswagen Beetle, active in collectors groups and so on and so forth. Hopefully my grandkids will see this car too.
Yeah, good note. Okay, so let's go into business. And first I would like to describe why we are rolling out the chat support. Apart from the fact that this was a leading ID exchange item. So the reason that we have introduced those was to enhance your experience with support. For the first thing, the support is an immediate, the chat is an immediate channel. You pick up the line, you just get a live support by one of our experienced analysts, so you don't have to wait for response, and you are immediately getting that back. With regards to the results of this channel that we have already rolled out, we do see a very high customer satisfaction rate of 96% in the last products that we have deployed, and we are sure that this high rate will continue, especially in the deployment that we are doing towards the higher ed platform coming towards you. So a bit about the journey. We have started in November with RefWorks and Pivot. Then we rolled out for research professional and expanded RefWorks also to be supported in Korea. Next step was to introduce the workflow solutions products, some on 360 and in Tota, starting with North America in May, and then expanding to Europe and the rest of the world in October. And with regards to the higher ed platform, when we launched the early adopters of Rialto, we were already using the chat in the higher ed platform, and we have deployed in Europe for the EU instances for Primo VE the chat support in the start of November. So we are already running for around a month with Primo VE in Europe, and the results that I stated also relate to that. And we gained experience, and we are now rolling out North America, coming to you in 14th of December. And later than that, in 2021, we don't have yet concrete timelines, but we do plan to expand it through the other higher ed platform products, including Leganto and Alma. So to share with you how we designed the chat, what we had in mind in order to bring you this support channel, the main thing was to look at your experience. So the first decision that we made was to embed the chat in the Alma platform. You will see it in a minute. Esther is going to review that with you. But you don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to go out of the Alma platform in order to chat. And the chat is a Salesforce function embedded in Alma. So we have all the records, we have everything in our support system, which is Salesforce, integrated with cases, with visibility to you, as you will see in a minute. So that was our main criteria to create the completeness of the solution. Second of all, we are not using chatbots. We know that they are not that accurate sometimes, not that perfect of experience. So currently, every chat that will be answered by an experienced support analyst and not by a bot. And lastly, to the customer's request, we are allowing the system admins to control who will be able to see the chat support for the institutions for which we are rolling out the chat. So it's not defaultly enabled for everyone, but the system administration of the institution will decide and will be able by self-service themselves without support to enable the chat to the user they wish to have chat with support. Now I'm going to hand over to Esther to walk you through and see the details of this great service. Esther?
Thank you, Matan. Thank you, Matan. Can you hear me well?
All
Okay.
good.
Okay, thank you. So thank you, Matan, for the introduction. We will now walk through the process, and I will show you how it works, who can access it, how you access it, and talk a little bit about those aspects of chat support. So the first and most important aspect is who is going to respond to your chats. And as Matan said, we have no chatbots. We are working with our tier one analysts. Our tier one analysts will be responding to your chats. They're all part of the regular tier one teams who provide support for our various products, and they will also be corresponding to you in the chat sessions. It's important to note that the chat is currently provided in English only. So for any customers who use foreign languages, we are currently providing chat support only in English. So who in the institution will be able to see chat? So it starts by Exlibris enabling it for your institution, okay? Once we roll out chat support for North American institutions, for example, or for the European customers, which we already did, the institution will be able to enable a chat support role for those staff members who should be able to communicate with support. Okay, we know that some institutions have only some staff members who should be able to communicate with support, so we are leaving this in your control. Only the users you decide can chat with us will do so. So once you have the relevant permissions, you will see the chat icon in the persistent icon menu. You will see it on the top right. It's only available in the new UI, by the way, for those of you who haven't switched over yet. It's only available in the new UI, so make sure to enable it for yourself. Clicking the chat icon will open a panel on the right side of the screen. The same way it works for your recently viewed items or for your task list. A panel will open, and there you will see a list of products to which we provide chat support. For example, here we have Primo, because Primo is what we rolled out currently. Customers who have Primo and Rialto will see both products here in this list. So looking at this little tile here, next to the Primo, you have an indication whether or not a chat agent is available to chat with you. If an agent is available, you can go ahead and click the chat with an agent that appears right underneath. If not, you can go to the Knowledge Center. It will take you to the documentation of that specific product. From the Knowledge Center, of course, you can also click and submit a case and open a regular support case if there is no agent available to take your chat session at the moment. This is a bit of bigger picture just to show you again where the chat icon is located in the Alma platform. Again, at the top right, next to the recently viewed items and the help menu, you will also see the chat icon displayed if you have the relevant user role. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the chat session itself. You started the chat with an agent. The first thing that will happen is you will get an automated message telling you an agent is on their way to chat with you. Once they started the chat and the support analyst has responded, you can start your conversation with them. It's a pretty standard IM message. You type a message, you get a message back. Very standard and intuitive chat messaging. We do have here some options that make it a little bit easier for you to use. You can pin the panel to the right side, so you can leave the chat open and get some information from within Alma. But if you don't pin it and you navigate it outside of the chat, don't worry, your chat session will stay active. And if the analyst sent you a message, you'll get an indication that you have a new message in your chat session. So you'll be able to click the chat icon again, and you will continue chatting with the support analyst. Next to the pen, and next to the little pen icon, you will also see a help icon that will take you to an article in the Knowledge Center where we list the chat availability hours in case you want to see when chat agents are available to chat with you. That is where we will be maintaining this information. So another question that we frequently get is, can we share screenshots or files with you throughout during the chat? So yes, if you request or the analyst wants you to share some screenshots or something like that, they can enable that file sharing option for you. Once they enable it for you, you will be able to attach a file and send it back to support. It's important to note that you have to ask for it so they can enable it if needed. You can also save the chat transcript at any point throughout the conversation, or when the chat ends, you will also be able to save the transcript by clicking this Actions menu and save the transcript. Last but not least, if you want to end the conversation, either because you maybe completed the session, you got your answers, or you just don't want to chat, you can always you can close the chat session. You will get a confirmation message asking you, are you sure you want to close the session? And then you will be able to end the conversation if you want. We added here a link to a preview video that we posted on YouTube. It's a short video because, again, it's a very simple functionality and it's very intuitive, but we do encourage you to watch it and see how easy it is to use a chat functionality. Okay, so when do we encourage you to use chat? So it's because you'll be chatting with our tier 1 agents. Anything you know is tier 1 in nature, such as how to questions, or if you have any very simple questions or queries. Those simple things are definitely, we encourage you to use chat for them. It is important to know, though, that if you're not sure, go ahead and chat with us. It will allow us to communicate with you. We'll get all the information, and if we cannot resolve it within chat or during a chat session, we will create a case for you. We will provide you with a case number. As Matan said, it's part of Salesforce, so it's integrated into the support portal, and there will be no additional action required on your end in order for it to continue as a regular case. So if you're in doubt, don't worry about it. Chat with us, and we will always be happy to take your chat session and continue offline if needed. We do encourage you, however, that if you know that something that you're going to ask us about is very complicated, it's a complex scenario, if you know that it's not going to be an easy fix or an easy case, then you could and should use a support portal for those issues. Again, you can provide more information, and that might be the better way to go. Okay, so last but not least, we want to share the availability hours. Generally speaking, our agents are available in their local business hours, meaning we have the team in North America will be available 9 to 5 Central, and as Matan said, that is coming December 14th. Our teams in Europe and in Israel are available Sunday through Friday, also during business hours from 8 to 4. Eastern time and European time. And of course, we will be updating if needed the availability in the CKC article that you can get to it by clicking the question mark icon in the chat panel. So it is important to note that these are business hours again. So if there's any public national holiday, we might not be available during those times either. Okay, so business hours are the way we go. And I think that is it from the how does chat work aspect. I think we can maybe open it up for questions if there's anything. Scott, did we get any questions?
Yeah, we do have a couple of questions. We have a couple of questions about user roles, and first one is the ability to chat assigned by user role or assigned to each individual no matter what user role?
We're not limiting to the chat functionality to a specific type of a user role, but any user of Alma will be able to have the chat, given that the system admin, which has permission to add the chat role to the specific user, will enable that. So if coming December 14th and later on, you wish to chat and you don't see the icon, contact your system admin and ask him to enable the chat role for you. And of course, if you have any other questions or any other issues, you can always open a Salesforce case and or direct to Estelle or myself any queries. Estelle, would you like to add something?
Yeah, I just want to maybe add that the specific role is called Chat with Support, and it is separate than the other roles. So you have to add an additional role to see the chat icon. So if, for example, any of you who are on the European instances and don't see the chat icon, ask your system admin to give you the Chat with Support role.
Okay, that actually handles the second chat question, your response. So thank you very much for doing that. The other question that I have is, when will this be available for just Primo if I'm not on Primo VE? That wasn't on the roadmap slide that you showed.
Currently, our plans is to roll out in 2021 to Primo VE and to Alma, and to focus on the higher ed platform. We currently do not have plans for non-VE Primo expansions, but of course, if we will update you as soon as we have a decision around that.
Okay, another question that came in is, will there be a system-wide way to see how many chat sessions were initiated? Will saved transcripts be available in the system to other staff, or is local to the person who initiated the chat?
Great question. So as I said before, and Esther as well, the chat is managed, and those that have access to the portal, to the Salesforce customer portal, will be able to see the related cases for those chats, including the chat transcript, for their institution or for themselves, depend on whatever permissions they have in Salesforce portal. Every chat creates a case, and it works the same as every other case. So you will be able to see a case, the case type or case origin would be a chat, so you will have an indication, and you can manage and see past chats, who chatted, cases that started with chat but are still ongoing and haven't yet been resolved. All of this can be viewed and tracked via the customer portal.
Okay, thank you very much for that answer. I'm in add new role. I don't see chat with support as a role that can be added. Should I see it now?
No, we are deploying the ability to see the new chat role only on December 14th for the North America instances. If you are in a European instance and you have Primo V, you should be seeing that. But if the case is not that, and you are in North America and a Primo V customer, then you will see that on December 14th, and you can carry out the enablement there. Okay. So you can see our emails here. Feel free to contact us. We are very much excited about this rollout. It is a real game changer. It is a great experience for you as customers, available for you, quick answers, experienced analysts to support you. We really encourage you to use that. For those of you in North America, I guess most of you are in North America instances, look forward to our communications via listservs. We have additional documentation in the Knowledge Center that can support you to walk through your first days with chat. And of course, contact us or support in any way for any questions that you have.